Okay, hello everyone. It is Friday, April 3rd. It's 1:45 p.m. and I am going to wait to the top of the hour at 2 o'clock and assess the direction of market at the top of the half hour. Now, I am inclined to go short here at the pullback to the 60, even though there's blue bars here. But I just want to bring over the 30-minute chart. So here's your 30-minute chart. There is kind of a level of support here at this 75.40 area, but there is room for the market to go down to 7,300. So I'm only going to the short side, and I will let the Autotrader take a short on its own if it closes below here. So it's close enough to the 60. I don't need to force a short right here. If it goes lower, the Autotrader will take it short. Now I have my money management set up as if I was trading a combine. This is how I would do it. I'd have the limit order at a close over bar with just a one tick pullback because I want to get filled. This is actually set to $1,000 goal, but my goal here is only $500. 200 ticks is $1,000. So if I have a losing trade, I can still make up my goal on a single runner, not just capping the profit target at $500. So anyway, in trading combine, you have to trade so many days, so I don't want my target to be too big on a single contract. So I'm going for $500, which will be hit sooner than $1,000. That's 25 points in the NASDAQ. It's not that much in today's volatility. So let's see how this trade plays out. This is a great setup here, a nice pullback to the 60, and I might as well plot the 20 on here. So now what we're seeing is a little transition. This could have been a nice long trade, but as long as we make a lower low than this low here, then this downtrend will still be intact. But my opinion on that might change as we get the next 30-minute bar. I may decide to go to the long side. We'll have to see how high this bar gets here. But I think the market's going to sell off and come down and test this area down here, 7,400 area. Okay, and we got filled. Just going to let the Autotrader do its thing. Okay, this is working out very, very nicely so far, and we only have 10 points to go, so if we get to 35, which is down here, we will hit our goal. So this looks like it was, so far, looks like a great entry here, a pullback to the averages. You can see how you get these transitions, but on this size time frame it changes pretty quick, but this is a great entry here, a pullback to the 60 and the averages. The only thing I would worry about is that this is becoming support. You know, I guess the broader question is do you trail your stop really tight here and then go short again? Or do you risk it all? So that's a tough call. Forgot to bring over the time and sales here. We only need to get to about 35 to hit our $500 goal. And there it is. Our $500 goal with one tick of slippage. So let's talk about this trade for a moment. Why I took this trade. Looking at my 30-minute chart. The market opened here, and it's been down all day, just lower highs and lower lows on your 30-minute chart, and it broke this level of support at the 50% range of the weekly range, and once it broke this, it accelerated down. You can see it on this 30-minute bar, and that was my thinking. Also, I drew the 20 and the 60 and the adaptive moving average on here, and this was well set up for the Autotrader to take this pullback to the 20 and the 60, which I have talked about quite a bit. It's a very effective setup, and you just saw it live in real time with the Autotrader taking the trade. Okay, so the market is closed, and I wanted to come back to this chart with the live trade and kind of talk about the reasons for taking this trade and how this played out, because it was a pretty nice setup, a pullback to the averages. The Autotrader took the trade here. I did not force the trade, and you can see this is a pretty small time frame, 150 tick, but this allows you to basically really finesse your trades. You can get some short swings in the scheme of things. If I tighten up the chart, you can see how many opportunities there is to make $500. Just look back on the chart. That's $500. That's more than 500. That's 500. All these moves here. This is all going with the trend. You know, always remember to follow the averages. But there's so many opportunities to make $500 here, even on the upside, even against the trend. There's counter trend trades. But this is the opening price, so above the open bullish, below bearish. But there's opportunities every step of the way, all day long, to take trades. Living in Hawaii, I can only start trading, you know, earliest, you know, maybe 1 o'clock. So I'm kind of limited in focusing on, you know, finding trade setups in the last 2 hours of trading. And so this pullback to the averages is something I've spoken about quite a bit. And the market was clearly down all day. This was a great example of a pullback to the 20 and the 60 EMA. Another thing I look at that helps me a lot is the 30-minute chart. So if you look at the 30-minute chart, I'm going to bring it over here. The market started here. This was the open on 30-minute bars, and so it tried to rally, but it sold off, and it was below the open all day. This was a failed rally here. This dotted black line is the developing point of control, or the price that the most volume is at. So a falling developing point of control is indicative of sellers being in control. So anyway, at the 1 o'clock hour, the market attempted to rally, but it failed. And it was this bar that I showed in the video that if this closes below, actually it was this bar. This bar was about to close. So if this bar was bearish, I was basing the trade on that if this bar is bearish, the market was going to go down and test these levels here. And it didn't quite make it to 7,400, but it did come to 7,423. But it also came to the area that I suggested that it would, where there was kind of some support here. So I did say in the video before this happened, I expected the market to come down to these levels. And it did. But anyway, this short, there were several rebounds here, and this was actually kind of, you know, making that bottom, you know, here. And then the market did rally a bit into the close and, you know, closed up here at 75.35, which on the 30-minute chart would be right about, well, here's the close right here, 75.14 area. So this is where the market closed. So there was some, obviously this looks like short covering into the close. Anyway, long story short, this was a beautiful trade, pull back to the averages, and it's a question of you know, when to engage the Autotrader. Do you engage it based on time, you know, like starting the same time every day, which is somewhat of a disadvantage, or do you base it on what? And the what in this case is a pullback to the averages. It could be any trade setup that you know well, but in this case it's not when, which would be time, you know, starting at 9:30 every day, although that works out pretty good, but what, and that is a pullback to the averages or any other setup. It could be an ABC pattern like this one right here, 1, 2, 3, ABC, and then this was also a pullback to the averages, a little bit of overshoot, but the adaptive moving average, which is the thicker moving average here, is actually really good by itself. That's all for this video. I'd love to hear your comments on this. So please like the video and don't be afraid to speak up. Thanks for watching.